Hey, what's going on, guys? Minuteman Preparedness. So today we're going to talk about what type of information are you telling everyone around you, including criminals, whenever they look at your vehicle. We're going to talk about those stickers that you see on back windows and side glasses of people's cars. So I'm going to throw a picture up here. I want you to look at it, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. All right. So in that picture, and I've got the same one right here, the information that you're putting on your vehicle is telling a lot of people, including criminals, a lot of things about you, things you may not want them to know. And you're just putting them on your vehicle with, no ill intent or, not thinking about the bad side of things. But what you're actually telling criminals, because they do pay attention to this type of information. So one that's not posted on here is the stick figure family that you always see a lot of times on the back glass, to have a little stick figure of, a dad, a mom, two kids, a dog, and things like that. So you're telling criminals that, yes, I have a husband, myself, and there's two kids and a dog in the home. Then you'll come over and, as we showed in the picture, you got a baseball with a name on it and a number. So you're letting people know that your son probably plays baseball. This is his name and this is his number. And then you have a picture of a ballerina with the name under it. So my daughter takes dance, or, is a ballerina or whatever, and this is my daughter's name. So now these individuals, criminals, know there's you, a dad, two kids, and a dog. They know your son's name. They know your daughter's name. They know that your son plays baseball, and this is a number on the back of his jersey, and that your daughter takes dance. And if you live in a smaller community, there may be one or two dance studios in that area. There may be only one or two ball fields in that area. So all they have to do, they know what you're driving, is go out there and sit and wait for your vehicle. Now they know the areas that you go to, the dance studio, the ball field, or whatever it is, and they know your children. So they could easily walk up whenever you step to the bathroom or the concession stand or whatever it may be, and call out their name and say, hey, I'm a friend of your mom's, or I'm a friend of your dad's, or whatever. The baby on board decal. A lot of people put those on their vehicles for several reasons. One, to try to get drivers to be a little more cautious around them, and also let first responders know that there's a possibility of a infant, or a baby inside of the vehicle if there's a vehicle collision. But what you're also telling the criminals is that whenever you park, you're going to not be paying attention to your surroundings. You're going to be fiddling around with trying to get a child out of a car seat, getting a stroller set up, getting the child in the stroller, getting the baby bag, getting your items that you need. And so your attention is going to be focused on the child, not the things going on around you. So you're not going to have, more than likely, not going to have a lot of situational awareness. The next one here is a picture of someone on a dirt bike. And can't exactly read what it says, but the general idea is that, okay, we like expensive toys. We probably have a dirt bike at our house, more than likely in the garage. And then the hunting symbols with the scope emblem and a rack there that says hunting. So more than likely, it could be the wife, but more than likely the husband has firearms and he enjoys to hunt, which means he's probably going to be away from the home, maybe on some weekends on hunting trips during hunting season. There's going to be weapons of value inside of the home to take. Right here, oil field spouse. Well, that shows more than likely your husband, could be the wife, but more than likely your husband is an oil field worker. So he's either going to be gone for stretches of time, or he's going to be gone the entire day. And if they, watch your habits a little bit, they'll probably be able to tell, especially if they see you at a Target, at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday, that you're more than likely a stay at home mom or stay at home parent or whatever. And that there's probably just going to be one adult in that home. Personalized license plates. That makes your vehicle stick out very easy. There are a lot of very similar vehicles on the road, especially white in color. Where I live, you can Tahoes are everywhere. So it's a vehicle that blends in a lot. But if none of them have, decals or anything on personalized decals, that registration plate, if you got a personalized registration plate on the back, they know it's you. Those stick out a little bit easier than your standard issued registration tags. Then, decals with animals, like if you have a dog, you may have a picture, of a Chihuahua with their name on it, or a pit bull or Belgian Malinois, whatever, with their name. So you're telling them from the stick family decal on your back window, yes, you have a dog. Now you've just told them what type of dog you have and the dog's name, which may aid them if they're trying to break into your home. And then the ominous, perfect attendance, or the honor roll stickers, or terrific kid decals that may have the school name. If you have those on there and it has the school name, well, now you've just told this person where your kids go to school. So they know where your kids go to school. They know what sporting events your children like. They know their names. If they're playing ball or something, they know their number. They'll probably be able to figure out what field or dance studio they are. They know your husband's probably out of town a lot, that he likes hunting, so he probably has a lot of guns. You have dirt bike decals, so you probably have a dirt bike or two at the house. You're going to be distracted because you have a small child that you're going to be having to deal with a stroller and things like that. You have to pay attention to what you're letting other people know, and you put these things on your vehicle, as being proud, especially the honor roll, your kids playing ball or dance or whatever, but you're not thinking about what other people see. And I see this all the time. And for years when I worked patrol, I would notice these things, and, they would really just stick out. And I was like, if I was a criminal, I know a whole lot about you, and you know nothing about me. You don't even know that I've paid attention to this type of stuff, especially when it comes to, especially personal information, but expensive toys. A lot of times you'll see, you go out and buy an Apple product, something like that. It comes with a little Apple sticker, and people will put them on their vehicles. Well, you've just told a thief that, hey, I like expensive electronics, and I probably have some on my person or in the vehicle. We have to be aware of these things and what we're telling people. And, I was guilty for it way back in the day, many years ago. For a short time, I had a blue line decal on my vehicle. After a short amount of time and thinking about things and looking at situations at that point in time going on in the world, I took all that stuff off. I don't have any decals, any personalized plate. I don't have anything on any of my vehicles. I try to make them blend in about as much as possible. With the everyday vehicles you see up and down the road, I try not to have too many things that are going to draw attention to me that give off personal information. So we're going to keep this video short and quick here. I want you to think about this, and if you have some of these decals on your vehicle, you may want to think about taking them off. We're all adults here, so you do what you want to do, but I'm just trying to give you a little bit of little something to think about. But with that, you all stay safe. Have a great day, and Minuteman out.